All right. I'm excited because today I'm finally getting around to installing my Android Auto, dashcam, navigation, do-it-all screen. Come take a look. So in the unlikely event that you followed my last bike, my FC6, you'll know that I installed one of these on there too. So this is the same screen. It's the Julian Smart Riding Screen, available on AliExpress or Amazon. And I'll post a link in the description for where I got it. So this functions as a CarPlay or Android Auto for your bike. You get on the bike, it's wireless. You just start it up and get on and ride like you would drive a car. Really great because you don't need to pull out your phone, don't need to mount it on the handlebars, worry about any of that stuff. It goes right onto there and you can control, your headset, whatever from your controls, which is amazing. And exactly what I needed to save me time when I get on a bike. Got a lot of things to worry about, helmets, earplugs, whatever. But the other main reason I got it is because it has these two things, dash cams. Essential for when you're on a motorcycle and people are trying to kill you. You want to make sure you have a record of it if something does happen. So, I'm going to show you how to wire this thing. The main problem I was having is that, unlike any other bike, Harley decides to do their own thing with wiring. They don't have an accessory fuse, which is what I would normally tap into. In the fuse box here, if you pull it off, you'll see this little fuse block. And I'm going to need two hands for this. If you pop that fuse block out, you'll see three fuses. One of them is the instrument fuse, instrument panel. One of them is the battery tender, I believe. And the other one, I think, just says battery in the manual. So I'm not 100% sure what that is, to be honest. But I did test out the instrument panel one, which I thought was going to give me what I needed. But it is constant power. It stays on regardless of whether the bike is on or not. And that's a problem because it means anything you plug in there will stay on and just drain your bike until the battery's dead. So I was at a loss for a very long time as to how to do this until I came across these little guys here. Inside your seat, under the seat, we've got two plugs. And I really didn't have any idea what these were for until I was doing some searching online and in the manual and saw that these are for heated gear. You can pop them out. Got one here and another one right there. Oh, focus. And if you look inside, you've just got the simple DC 2.5 millimeter barrel plug, which means I don't have to splice anything. I don't have to worry about fuse taps. I don't have to get crazy with wiring. I'm going to show you on that bench exactly how we're going to do this. It's going to be super easy to remove and install anytime I want. And it's awesome. Here we go. So on the back of our screen, we've got four connectors. Two of these are for the dash cams. One is for the remote, which I did not elect to get on this one since I got it on the last one and it was terrible. And also the Harley has media controls that'll work with this. And the last one is for power. So the way that works is it comes with this connector that you're supposed to tap onto whatever you're going to use for the power source and then plug it into that there. And what I've got is an adapter that plugs into that little DC socket I showed you before, which, by the way, is for heated gear or any other accessories that you want to use with your Harley. So FYSA if you didn't know that. But we're just going to splice that onto here, connect red to red, black to black, and then plug that into the bike and this into the power, into the tab, into the screen, and we're golden. So I'm going to grab my little solder seal connectors that I use. You've probably seen me use before. Wire that up and then figure out where to route this thing on here. So if you haven't seen these before, these are called solder seal connectors. And what they do is they just slip over the wire each side, and then you use your heat gun and heat this up, and it'll create, the solder will melt in the middle there and it'll create a permanent connection. So I use this anytime I need to make a permanent connection. I'll leave the link in the description, obviously, but let's go ahead and do that. So the connections look good. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that in some electrical tape and then throw it on the bike. So now that we have our nice cable here, we need to figure out a way to run it. Run it through the bike and get it to up there where we want it to be. So working backward, I can see the cables go through the handlebars, well, through the triple tree and down into this spot here where we've got that little USB connector and some more electricals back there. So I'm going to pop that cover off and see what it looks like back there. and see where the routing goes from there. So there is a Torx screw that you need to get to in there. You can see it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead, take that out and pop the cover off. Okay, so with that cover off, we can see we've got the main fuse in there. We've got the area where the turn signals connect and some more electronics, but a little bit difficult to get on camera. It doesn't really seem to be much of a path heading backward there toward where the seat is. That's where we want to go. It looks like if I really wanted to get back there cleanly, I'd have to remove the gas tank, which I'm not going to be doing right now. Not worth the effort. What I think is, if you see this cable here, this is the clutch cable, looks like, coming down from there. And it runs in this little gap under the gas tank all the way to the back there where the seat is. So I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll come down through the triple clamp, zip tie the cable to the clutch cable, run it along to the back there, and it should be mostly invisible. And that should be pretty good. So I'm going to try that out, see how it looks, and then I'll either keep it or we'll figure something else out. Okay, so I went ahead and mounted my screen there. And then for the wire routing, I didn't use this actually. I just went ahead and went through here, down along the clutch cable. You can see it there. And then the wire pops out here, and it's zip tied to the clutch cable there. Now my only concern is it's pretty close to the engine head here. So I don't know how hot it's going to get, and that's why I tried to keep it away from it as much as possible. There is airflow. I guess we'll see what happens. But then we continue on into the seating area there, and it plugs right in. So that's the power cable. Let me show you how I mounted the screen. I think it looks pretty nice like that. And I just took the ball joints that it comes with. Because this is the way it is, you can't really... This is too thick to get the mount around, and there's not really any space. So I found the cleanest solution was actually just zip tie this really tightly to the bar there, and then mount this like that. And actually it doesn't look terrible from the front here, although my intention is actually to get a fairing, a cowling cover, and send it, put it on here, so it's going to cover all of this. You'll only probably see the screen at the top of it. So that's what I've got there. So I'm just going to turn on the bike here so you can see how quickly this loads up when it actually does and what it looks like. So you flip on the power, bike's going to turn on, and it's going to turn on my helmet speakers here. And you'll see any second now, this is going to boot me out of the video because it's going to switch over to Android Auto. So I'll restart in a sec. But your screen turns on as normal. You can access all your stuff, your music. You can see my music actually shows up here. I can still control the tunes and the volume and everything. I'm going to go ahead and blur that. But my Android Auto pops up here, which is awesome. Everything is controllable as normal on a car. I can choose stuff, all the apps there. Can even do phone calls and so on. And then, yeah, my helmet speakers play. Everything is fully integrated. As you can see, it's super convenient because you turn on the bike, your speakers fire up, you can still control everything. You've got your maps right on there. You can set your destination. Don't need to open the Harley app. Don't need to do anything. Pull your phone out of your pocket or anything like that. So, if you like that, you think it was cool, give me a like and a subscribe. I've always got things on the go. You never know what's going to pop up on this channel. Although I've been doing a lot of bike content lately. I've got some guitar stuff and I have some other projects on the go too. So, give me a like and a subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.